So I think we can start. So just a brief introduction of myself. My name is Jabez Magumera. I think some of us would met. I taught your class, I think, gave one time an Android thing on BVM architecture last year. So this forum, like this whole thing, this whole idea is basically started bounced off an idea to Innocent about how we can help you guys answer some of the questions you have starting out of project. I hope you already noticed that. Yeah, so I think us guys were like, yeah, so a bunch of guys were still in quarantine. I'm currently working, but most of my friends are still in quarantine or something, so we can actually like plug in and volunteer to help you guys answer some of the questions. And also, Innocent had told me that you want advice on some of the units. So it's basically, so today I wasn't able to get like most of the guys from my class who I wanted to come. So I actually finished my coursework last year. I'm still not sure whether I'll graduate on Zoom or I don't know whether it's on Zoom or Google Hangouts. Still get strategies yet to let us know. And so it's basically a group of ICS guys who, like, I think hacked it well with their projects and their units in Corsair, trying to give you guys advice. So I'll let my friend Adrian introduce himself, and then we'll start. Adrian.
Hi guys, my name is Adrian Musungu. I also finished ICS last year with this guy here, JB. And here you guys want to like some advice on your projects and some of the units that you're doing this semester, which is great. As you didn't have the chance, so I think this is a great opportunity for you guys to actually have a preview of the things that will be coming soon. And also with the change in formats here with the online stuff. And it's pretty interesting. I'm not an online class myself, so you can also tell us about that experience. And yeah.
Thanks so much, Adrian. So kindly mute your mic if you aren't speaking so that I don't hear the feedback. Yeah, better. So this is what we're gonna do. Yeah. So I think the chat is open. You can ask questions about your project. So I don't think this will be like an exhaustive forum, or like I think we'll still have another one either tomorrow or when you guys think it's okay. Because the idea is I wanted to bring in people who did different type of projects, guys who had actually good experiences and guys who never had good experiences. So majorly what we'd want to talk about is what projects do we think are valid, or like how does the panel evaluate your projects? So I wanted to bring someone who did. So Adrian, I think he'll talk about his project more as we go. Adrian did a project on artificial intelligence and machine learning as well. I did something on machine learning, but I wanted to get someone who did a project on IoT, someone else who did a project on blockchain, someone who did a project on robotics, someone who did something on augmented reality, and then someone who never used the big terms or anything and just built a system and boom, they still hacked it. Yeah. So, but before that, so if you have any questions about projects that you'd like answered in even the coming sessions, kindly just drop them on the Zoom chat. Just type them like questions to do with what really matters, what is important. Yeah. But today, I think I'll just give advice. Me and Adrian will give you advice on your units and then answer a couple of the questions. So I looked at, Innocent sent me the list of units that you guys are doing this semester. I think that's machine learning, distributed systems, projects, IoT, computer simulations and modeling, distributed systems, and ISSD. So Adrian is going to talk about machine learning, and he's going to talk about ISSD, information systems, security and design. And then we'll both talk about computer simulations and modeling. So basically, we're just sharing like small bits of advice that can help you guys going and like how to hack this semester. Yeah, you still have your project and you still have units and you must do. So I'm going to give you guys advice on IoT. So someone's feedback. So IoT it's a fun unit. Dixon is a very chilled lecturer, to be honest. Then follow guys so much, so it's very chilled. We'll have chilled classes. But I think Dixon really changes when it comes to cards. Like he's a guy who he'll teach and you think everything flows in class, but then like his cards are very technical. So I remember he said for us, like our cut one was really easy, like, those easy cards, but no one got, I think most people never performed well because of like really small mistakes. So that's what I'll highlight. So when you notice that in IoT, since he's a very technical guy, he wants you to show most things with examples. So if he asks you a question on like a microcontroller-based system, you just don't answer a microcontroller-based system is this component and this component. You have to show an example. You have to say like it's a smart IoT farm that has temperature sensors, humidity sensors, sends it to the cloud, and then some action happens. So how to hack his cards is, since he's very technical, he'll always want you to show more examples for his cards, and that's something that you can take care of. IoT, we never did a project. I don't think if he give you guys a project, although you have a practical for Arduino, and the practical for Arduino is on group work, and it's not really hard. It's just about lighting a bulb, and I think everyone got the marks, really free marks. Something else is you will get to, in IoT, you will get to have groups, and then these groups will keep on presenting so he'll really ask many questions in the class, especially after every presentation, he used to have questions that we answer, and his whole exam came from these questions. So just take note of the questions that he usually asks after this class, and then set up yourself in a group that you'll always answer these questions after class, because that makes it easier, because it means you won't have to study a lot from it. And the thing you notice about Forthia is you want to focus on your project more. So you need this other unit, you need to put in like a situation where you don't have to put so much effort in this other unit, for you, so that you can put like major of your time in your project. So IoT is basically that. I think I'll let Adrian handle machine learning, and then like swap. And then if you have any questions, just like pop them up.
Okay, thanks, JB. Yeah, the IoT that is talked about is, you really need to work on that one. That thing was really, really hard. But yeah, for machine learning and SSD, I think SSD is one of the easier units to pass compared to the other ones. It is way, way easier to pass, because all you need to do, wait. You guys can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're good.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You can hear me?
Bye.
Let's see.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so something was up. So saying, yeah, SSD is one of the easier units to pass. All you need to do, I think it's Tiberius who's teaching you guys, which is excellent. I don't think he's a really nice guy. He's not very combative like some other lecturers. So all you need to do is like read his notes, and he usually gives all these questions. I don't know if he's already started. He usually gives all these PDF questions. Just go through them, because he always recycles the questions. He doesn't like try to make you fail in the exams. He's really easy, and he's really easygoing and helpful. Always ask him anything you don't understand. So the best way is just go through this question that he usually gives, and I think you'll be fine. Now for machine learning, okay, as you have different lecturers, because I was transferred or something. So I'm not sure but no, ICD, you don't do a project. For ICD, you don't do a project. For machine learning, you may do a project depending on how much he covers during the semester. Because else you only cut short because there was too much content we didn't finish, so we couldn't do a project. So I don't know, your mileage may vary. He may or may not give you the project. So for passing machine learning, I also think it's not a difficult unit to pass, but it's also relatively easy to fail. It all depends. I mean that usually applies for most, but this one, I think you really have to read a lot. You need to read like what they give you, and if you're interested in doing machine learning as your project of choice this year, you really need to pick up on the things he'll be teaching. You need to like on top of reading his notes. Again, he didn't teach me, so I don't know like how he teaches or the kind of notes he gives or how he tests the exams, because that's taught by a different lecturer. But you really need to read a lot. Read all these how do you get them? These Udemy classes or these online classes, online learning materials. You don't have to pay for them. You can get them on. You can pirate them, so to speak. But yeah, just go through the theory. Mostly understand the theory, because the theory will help you done if you're planning on doing a project in machine learning. But also always do those. I'm assuming he'll be giving you like weekly exercises from Jupyter, the notebook. So always do those. Please don't copy. I know I copied a few, but please don't copy. Okay, if you're copying, I hope you're copying like in a educational way, like you're learning from someone else, because those things will come to haunt you back in the cut and the exam. So it's in your best interest to actually do those exercises by yourself and understand them and know exactly what they're looking for and how to tackle those questions. Because the exams for machine learning, the exams are very technical. It's usually very few, if none. Usually no theory in those exams. For us, we are tested. There's usually no theory in these exams. It's mostly just practical, based on those exercises that I hope he'll be giving you weekly. So yeah, that's up for machine learning on SSD.
Sorry, you guys couldn't hear me. Thank you so much, Adrian. But to add on like stuff Adrian has like said, I think for this, and I hope there's no lecturer in this Zoom call because he's been messed up. But yeah, I think for us in fourth year, we just decided to have groups of like people who we knew were good at things and they did those assignments well. So it was sort of collaborative. Like I think me and Adrian shared a couple of assignments, because you do notice that when you have a project, you have so much you're supposed to do, and like having a collaborative space is something that can really help you guys. So for machine learning, I don't know if it has changed, but if this guy is following like what we're taught, don't even prepare yourself for theory. Like I think when you get to fourth year, you realize that theory exams are like done, and you'll actually prefer practical exams. And by practical, I mean when you enter the machine learning exam, most of it will be algorithms that you're taught in class. So if you're taught something like k-means, you see the way you did artificial intelligence, so machine learning is literally the same thing. And you'll be given weekly Jupyter notebooks. Kindly do them, especially if you want to do an AI project. So most people think that AI is easy and you can just bluff your way and say you're going to do an AI project. It gets to time, it's really hard. Because I know Adrian did something where he was trying to predict whether Twitter text someone is depressed or not, depending on like sentiment analysis on their tweets. I think he'll explain it further. If you don't get the basics of machine learning, especially when you're being taught, it's going to be a bit harder for you. So make sure you do the Jupyter notebook. Something else I think you forgot in ISSP is you're going to have group presentations, which are very, very important. Like, the thing about first year is lecturers I feel like they get chilled with you and they're like, you just do a group presentation. So your group presentation will really matter. So yeah, moving on to the next thing is distributed systems. This one I have to specify. Like if someone would have told me to start reading from it from day one, I would have listened to them, because this guy has so many notes. Like this guy's slide, he has like I think 13 topics, and like each slide has like 40, and then he puts 4 slides in each PDF, and they're like so much stuff you have to read. I never got to read everything. So this is a hack, I'll tell you guys. This is how I hacked through this unit. Very simple thing. I went to the exam bank, and then this guy has taught this unit a couple of times. So I went to the exam bank, and then I noticed that he repeated all his questions. And for that distributed systems unit, he teaches it both in the degree and both in the postgrad, in the master's. So when you go to the exams bank, take both the degree papers that we did and also the master's one, and then analyze them, because he literally does the same thing. Second thing is his cuts are very technical. Like he's going to be giving you questions after every unit after every lecture, and then of course it's us. We never do them because he'll never follow up. He'll just tell you guys to discuss, but please discuss it because distributed is a very heavy system. Something else, there'll be a project 20%. So this is the thing. I can't promise you to pass the class because I don't think me and Agent really, or I don't think we pass, but me, I don't think I really passed people in the cut. I think the project is the one that really helped me. So the project is going to be about a group of two. He's going to tell you to build a socket system where two applications can be able to exchange information. So he's going to tell you to build like a toy communication system. So it's a project. Good thing is now you guys should like clap for me or like send money to my M-Pesa. If you go to my GitHub account, I think it's open source, that project. I think it's there. So you can access it from there. I think it's there. I think I'll share the link to Innocent or something. The link to that project is there. So just know that distributed system is very intense, has so many notes. This is not the unit where you read for everything the day before the exam because it can get really, really technical. So that's something that you want to do. Last unit I think that we haven't talked about, but I'll just try to talk about is computer simulations and modeling. So in computer simulations and modeling, us guys were taught by a guy called Maingi, but I think if it's someone teaching you guys, simulations is basically math. If you love anything, it's not really intense math, it's just math that requires you to think, come up with tables. So Omega is a guy who will give you like a couple of cards, like a couple of questions, and just like this guy always repeat it. I don't know. I think by the time we got to fourth year, we noticed that lecturers are gonna repeat their cat ones and cat twos. Yes, so meeting is about to end in 10 minutes, but I'd like to pick a couple of questions. So if you have any questions about your project, because we'll deal with the project in like I think tomorrow, Innocent told me he'll set up a meeting, so I think either tomorrow or next Friday. So questions about how do I write my abstract, how do I present, we'll also share our experiences, the type of projects we did, and how it went out. So I think I'll go to the chat, and then also people asking me my GitHub. My GitHub is Jabez Nzomo 99. Just go and look for repo called socket programming, but let me just share it. I'll definitely share the link for you to you guys so that it's easier. If you have any questions, kindly just ask it on the channel, or you like can unmic yourself and then unmute yourself and then ask the question. Question about project or anything. So I think in the meantime, I can let like Adrian just share a snippet of his experience of the project, how it was and what he did before we answer any questions.
Okay, so here guys, okay, for my project, I did basically it was sentiment analysis, as JB said, on Twitter data. So what it does is I use Twitter API and Python for developing a Twitter program that let's say reads your tweets. Okay, not reads, that sounds like it's invading your privacy. No, what it does, it screens your tweets. Let's say, so there's a Twitter user who in this case was a mentee and a mentor. So it was a mentor-mentee pair in the database. So what it does, I'm trying to detect depression through Twitter. So we screen, the program screens the mentees, which in this case would be like you guys, students. We'll screen your tweets on Twitter using the Twitter API. Then using a machine learning program that I made, now we'll check whether your tweets are indicative of a depressed person. Then now it will now use this data to create a matrix that will now, okay, a matrix sounds technical, just like a report, basically a classification report of whether you're depressed or not, and it will send to the mentor via Twitter DM. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I think Adrian did that, and he was maybe discounting. He really did well in his project. Yeah. So I think Adrian can take some of the questions. I'll take some on the channel. Someone asked, what kind of machine learning projects did you guys do? Let me just tell you, I did a machine learning project. I was trying to help kids learn better. So I built up a model that predicts how a student will answer the next question, and then I adapt the content depending on how they'll answer questions. So basically, the input to my model was how the questions a student has answered previously for a given topic, like addition, and then I predict how they'll perform in subtraction, and then I adapt the content depending on whether they'll answer the question correctly or not correctly. So other machine learning projects I can think of in my head. There's my friend, I think called Ted. He tried to detect. He was detecting cancer, breast cancer on images. So I guess we did that. So I guess we did crop detection of machine learning, like image analysis. So in machine learning, what most people fell along is either they did linear regression, so trying to predict a value, or they did sentiment analysis, like AGMs. This is where you take like text and then try to analyze it sentimentally. And then also there's some guys who did used neural nets. I think I also used neural nets, but a couple of guys who used neural nets. So we'll share more on the kind of machine learning. I don't know. I think I'll ask my classmates if they're willing to share like the list of projects they did, and then you guys can look at them. It's like a whole list, and then you can see what are they looking for in this final year project. I don't know, Adrian, whether you can answer that.
Yeah. Okay. So what they're looking for, the first thing is basically your idea. If the idea is interesting, so to speak, it's like writing a composition, like from primary or secondary school. It's all about how you sell your idea. Part of the passing process is the allure, unfortunately. If the panel if the panel doesn't like, and this is actually really especially with Dr. Orero, he's very, I don't know. If he doesn't like your project, you're most likely not going to pass. If he likes it, you're most likely going to pass, even if you didn't finish everything. And but they don't expect you to finish like everything 100%. I mean, it's good to finish, but it's not like what they're expecting. So just make sure, first of all, your idea is pleasing to them. As long as it's pleasing, you can sell anything. Then just make sure you do, something a bit unique with your project. You don't have to go all out with like all your great ideas, but you don't put your great ideas in this project, this final year. If you have a great idea that you want to expand on, please do not put in your final year project because of the thing for start modeling like 70% or something. Yeah.
So does own, I think I don't know if it's 70, but Startmo does own a percentage of your project. So yeah, don't like sell your whole startup idea here and then and you're gonna suffer afterwards. But yeah, so I think this is the same thing as Adrian has said. Me, I also think, and this is my advice to you, and you'll hear it from my other friends, is how you bluff your way through it and how you present. Like, we're all human beings, yeah. It's how you convince people. Like, you don't have like, if you have a mediocre, of course, presentation, they won't buy into your idea. But if you like amp yourself up so much and then do a good presentation, chances are they'll buy into your idea, and then try to think of something new or novel. And also, I wouldn't like, there's nothing new under the sun. We do accept that. But twist it. Like, you see the thing Adrian did of sentimental analysis. It exists for years, but then he applied it into a new field, trying to detect whether depression is okay. And he did his project during that whole time of those mental awareness and all that thing. And you see, something like that can be turned into a whole project. Something else is, what is the learning curve for machine learning if I'm to use it? Hey, this one's a heavy one. If you're going to do machine learning, start reading stuff now or know the algorithm. So if you're going to do a machine learning project, know where have your data before you first know where your data is coming from. Don't start looking for data after you have get the data first and then have the idea, not the other way around. And then know what algorithms you use, know your inputs to the model and output. Orero is very technical on that. He'll ask you straight up, what are the inputs to your model and what are the outputs? So if the inputs to your model, for example, is time taken and the output is this, so you need to know your X, your input variables and your target variables very well. If you don't know that, like, you wouldn't bluff through. What are requirements of distributed systems projects like languages, Java. You're going to do this sadly if you don't like Java, but yeah, the Java FX, the socket programming is done in Java, so he'll expect you to implement it in Java. I want to do game development and I want to know it's viable. Yeah, I think anything is viable because my project, it was a learning app, but Orero wanted me to gamify it, so Orero was suggesting for me to do a game. So there's actually people who did games using augmented reality. So it's a game where you like use your phone, then you paint something, and then someone can see it. So game development is still very valid. It just depends on the idea you have. Lecturers you can collaborate with. I don't know any lecturer who does game development. Something else is an advice is if you're going to do a certain project, get a supervisor who has some knowledge in that line. So if you're going to do an AI project, go for your lecturer for artificial intelligence. He'll help you so much. Adrian, you can take another question as I look. Which supervisor is thank you for answering. Which projects were done that didn't implement AI or IoT? So these are the guys looking for like bare minimum. Like you don't want to do with management systems. Like if I'd advise you is like don't do a money. If you're gonna have like a library management system, hotel management system, like I'm just telling you in advance. If you're gonna do a hotel or library management system, don't work. So let me try and answer this. Agent will help me. You don't want to do an IoT project. You don't want to do a machine learning. You don't want to do anything novel or big. You can. There are people who did that. I have a couple of guys who went through without AI or machine learning. But the thing about having AI and machine learning in your project or anything of the sort, it's not like I'm forcing guys to have it, but this is my perception. I think it's way easier to convince these guys that you want to do actually. You're taking on something challenge. And also I tell guys, take your project as don't like just do it for the sake of doing it. This is the stuff that will give you a job after school. So for the guy who don't want to you don't want to do either of that, you can still do a system. That is totally okay. But then you need to do and it has to be a very novel system or something of the sort. Blockchain is good. Blockchain is very good. Something else you notice is computer science, the IT department is still very behind. Like these guys expect you guys to build systems with UI. I mean, I'm like, I can just build a system without, I don't know if Adrian, did you have without UI? Let me just ask.
I had absolutely no UI whatsoever.
Yeah, Adrian hacked it without a UI. What did you do? But you had Twitter for you. Just, Adrian, could you explain how you hacked it without UI?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. So what I did, I had absolutely no UI in my project. Absolutely none, because I was like, there's no way I'm doing a UI. There's no time for the UI. Let me just focus on the main part of the project. So the UI technically was Twitter, but of course I was encoding Twitter. It was just using the API. And when you use an API, for those who used API so far, it's just like a line of code. Because the only interaction was sending the DM or the report to the mentor. So yeah, you can hack. And I was among the few actually, I think, who didn't have a UI. And people actually really like pushing me to make a UI. So like, nah. So the idea got to the panelists into the onto my side. So I didn't have to start quote unquote kuwabembeleza sana about the UI, how it looks good and stuff. So they were sold on the idea, which made them a bit lax on other things. Yeah.
I think Adrian can answer. Someone's asked what your project was about, Isaac. I think he'd explained it before, but I think he can just explain it in a nutshell a bit.
Yeah, so my project was basically text analysis on Twitter data. So what it does is, I say there's a mentor-mentee pair in a database. So a mentor in this case would be like a lecturer, like whoever your mentors are, and a mentee is now you guys, like you, Isaac and Eric, I'm seeing on the chat. So what it does is the program, the program that I made, the project in this case, it screens your Twitter usernames. It picks your Twitter usernames to the database, then it screens your tweets. For example, I can say screen the last 10 tweets. Then it checks the tweets since they are in text form. Now this is where the text analysis comes from. It checks the tweets for any indicators of someone who's depressed, because it's a depression project to check whether Twitter users are depressed or not. Now, after it checks your tweets and performs the analysis, now it sends the report to your mentor via Twitter DM. So everything is in the back end, technically. As a mentor, you don't do anything at all. As a mentee, you don't do anything at all, except tweet, of course. The program handles everything else. Yeah.
So you see, that's like a perfect example of you building on top of stuff. So Adrian literally just connected systems built on top of the Twitter API. I'd also tell guys, if you have the ability to build on top of something, go for it. And also, I think let me just answer these two questions. Blockchain is okay. Blockchain is good. If you can hack it, do it. Blockchain is being used around in security, in health, in most of these things. So you can use blockchain. Big data, you can still use data. Yeah, you can still do big data. But then the issue with this guys is, okay, you've built a model. There are guys who literally went to present with Jupyter notebooks on command line. Those guys had a hard time. Don't go present with a Jupyter notebook that you've built a whole module, that's your project. No, build something that's usable. You see the way Agents was, he would follow this tweet, he would follow his Twitter, I don't know what it was called, but it was I think Depresso. When once you follow Depresso, it collects your tweets. So it's actually something usable. Build something that can be used. Someone asked, what about progressive weapons? So here's the thing, guys. These guys don't care about technology. This is where I noticed you can laugh so much. These guys don't care about technology. If you think you can get an API that exists for machine learning and say you built that machine learning yourself, do it. See what? That's the thing. If you can get existing APIs that can do stuff for you, do it. So I did my project in Kotlin. I did my backend in Kotlin, my Android app in Kotlin. At that time, lecturers didn't know that you can do backend in Kotlin or stuff like that. No one cared. I don't think anyone who asked me whether you did your project on Kotlin. If you can do it on C++, do it. If you can code AI on HTML, which is not possible, of course, do it. As long as you have a product out, no one really cares. Best supervisor for an AI project. If you were in my year, all of us tried to run to Sharon. Sharon was lucky but yeah, she left us afterwards, but Sharon was one of the best. I'd recommend Stephen Obonyo. This guy, Stephen actually gives talks in AI Kenya. So he's actually a very respectable guy. And he knows so much. He does. Stephen Obonyo does know a lot when it comes to AI. And this guy, if you find him in your panel, you can't bluff. Literally, you can't bluff AI, anything AI. So look for a guy called Stephen Obonyo. He's best of I've said Stephen Obonyo for that, or Emmanuel who teaches you. So the thing about him is he knows a lot of stuff, and he knows people who easily bluff. So and he's a very hard. So a tip about supervisor. If you think go for hard, my personal advice is go for a hard supervisor. Go for a supervisor who tells you that this thing is substandard or mediocre, because they're gonna save you so much. So much of her. But I think Adrian's supervisor was Dr. Orero, and I think he worked well with Adrian. Actually, I call him Orero's son, but yeah, actually.
Yeah, also, good advice for the project, make sure at least most or all of the panelists have seen your project before that day. Because you don't want a situation where you're sort of presenting a completely new idea to the panelists. Make sure at least everyone knows at least what's going on in your project, and they know technically what you've done and where you've reached. That will make the panel so much easier, and you'll be less anxious.
Yeah. So this is what we used to do. This is how I became Smart Unit. I said they're gonna release a panel of people who are gonna review your project. I made sure I pitched to all of them before that day. So my panelists, I made sure that I actually talked to them personally. And then when you get to fourth year, your lecturers stop becoming your lecturers. They become colleagues. But yeah. So go pitch to Orero or like pitch to someone like Mosoti. Mosoti asks so many questions of the panel. That is someone you want to have pitched to your project and cater for all the questions and build the rapport with him before the presentation date. Someone's asking best supervisor for Vue.js. It depends. As I've said, no supervisor will help you code. No supervisor will tell you this. They will probably give you advice. Stephen Obonyo can give you lots of advice on what models and algorithms to use and even help you in the implementation details. But the supervisor for Vue, I don't know any supervisor lecturer and staff who does lots of this, but I think Kevin Omondi does lots of stuff on UI. So Kevin Omondi would be a good, and then it varies. Some supervisors really take some things more important. So some supervisors wanted systems, others wanted the documentation. For me, I think Sharon really wanted the documentation. Then something heads up. If you want life to be easy for documentation, I don't know if Adrian would be okay to share his documentation. I think I can share mine, I can drive and ask for classmates to share so that you guys use it for reference. Me and Adrian, I think, devised a plan. We took master's documentation proposals. I know it's tricky, but yeah, we took from this course, I think, master's in technology, and then we used that as our framework for documentation because the things Orero gives you to use as your reference material, those things are me personally, to me, they were substandard. I was looking at them because I was looking at someone's whole like he shared to us a proposal. Full documentation was about 20 or 30 pages. I don't think you can have a documentation for 20 pages structured and such. So use the master's one. Yeah, I think that's it, unless you guys have more questions.
Oh yeah, and one thing about Dr. Orero, please don't let him scare you. he'll ask about some crazy things, because even he used to tell me, did you add this, and I'm like, I can't do that. I mean, I can, but we're working on time here. So he might tell you to do something. Listen to it. I'm not telling you don't listen to him, but also wait if it's actually viable.
Yeah, listen to it and wait if it's viable. Because funny, like side joke is when I presented my project initially, Orero told me to build a game around it. So I went to my supervisor. Please, I hope there's no lecture here. I went to my supervisor, and then Sharon told me leave that man alone. Like, don't listen to like. So it depends, because some people he was telling them build a smartwatch. I don't think you can build a smartwatch like right now. Yeah. So yeah, if you're gonna do cybersecurity, don't even like Tiberius. Don't even like think twice. Go to Tiberius. Isaac, I think you can teach out personally because I think you can get now. I can tell you what the project was about. What if your idea backfires in the middle of doing it? All ours almost backfired. I think we almost wanted to give up. We should meet it all. But yeah, there's always a second chance. You can start your whole documentation in second sem, but that would be a waste. That would be a waste because I think agent, our guys who started the documentation again in second sem, if the project
yeah, it's possible actually. Don't lose hope this early. It's what like for me, most of us actually, since our supervisor was Dr. Orero, and he's a bit poor in communication, so most of us actually started launching our projects like towards July, August. That's when it started becoming a bit serious. Because also we didn't feel like there was enough pressure from the lecturers. But don't lose hope. Not this early.
I think as supervisor, I know who followed up on guys so much was Takata. Like guys who had Esther Takata, Madam Esther Takata as their supervisor were always ahead. Like this guy started building the systems. And yeah, something to remind you, you guys won't, like I know sometimes I know you mind to yourself that you'll start building the system next week. I started building the system, I think a month to the presentation.
And me.
Still hacked it, but start, yeah. So, okay, I think Innocent has said he will gather all questions. Yeah, I think that's all, unless anyone has a question. So I think the next time I'll definitely come with more guys, more gender balance. It's better. We'll try cover all topics that we can with more questions. We'll share stuff on how to pitch your first presentation, And also don't freak out, not all projects will get rejected. And save yourself from even getting to that point. Like, ask lecturers. You have lecturers who are friends, get their numbers right now on Zoom calls. Right now people are at home, people don't have busy schedules. Zoom call them and like pitch to them all your ideas, and then they'll give you advice. That's the best thing you can do. Because even me, before we got to the presentation, I'd already talked to Orera about it. Yeah. If you're gonna do also mobile apps, you might want to have Anthony Hajira as your supervisor. But yeah, I think oh wait, you said the materials already shared with you were substandard. Hold up, that was my personal opinion. Like,
don't
hold it. Don't.
Yeah, don't use it elsewhere.
Don't use it elsewhere. But can you share some of the resources? So this is my plan. I think I'll build a drive. I'll have a drive where I'll ask my classmates to share their presentations, their PowerPoint presentations, and we'll share our project proposals, if they don't mind, proposals and documentation. So yeah, we'll share it. We'll definitely share it in the course of this week.
Oh yeah, also the thing for the materials, that's also where a supervisor comes into play. Pick a good supervisor. Like for documentations, Kakata is extremely good because she was my supervisor in year 2 and I survived on documentation alone. I was a bit of a joker then, so I survived on documentation alone. So yeah, make sure you get a supervisor who will look at your work every week. Trust me, it will help in the long run.
Yeah. Someone asked how complex should you make a mobile app? I don't know. So not so many guys did mobile apps in our time. Okay, there's a couple of guys, but not so many. It depends how complex you want to go. I remember I had a feature on my app that would detect whether your face is like. So before to play a video to a learner, I would detect whether their face is present or whether their face is not present. I basically stole a library to do that. But yeah, it gave it glamour that's needed for that time. So you can make it as complex as you want, but I wouldn't recommend you to choose something so complex because time is so limited. And guys, remember you have other units. It's not just your project. Again, you can also about how marks are assigned.
Yeah. Also, before you talk about that, also the thing for complexity, the lecturers or the panelists in this case, they're not actually looking for a complex project. They're looking for a good project. Like you may have an idea which may seem simple to you, but when you actually pitch it to them, they feel like it's something that can actually help people. So it doesn't have to be complex. Just make sure the project is good. Yeah, because complexity comes with its own challenges. You don't have the whole 1 year to do these projects and not just doing it exclusively. You have your other units which also have the other projects. So just make sure you pick something that's good. Yeah.
To share an example of Asian, I have a friend who did something really complex. He wanted to detect vehicles, wanted to use street cameras to detect whether vehicles have done a mistake. So if a vehicle has like overlapped and stuff like that, that thing is intense. It's a good idea. Like all of us were like, what? This is so smart. But then the implementation comes and it can get tricky, guys. Like pick something you can do it. How are the marks assigned for the project? Unpopular opinion, you guys might not know, is actually the documentation I think weighs high. I think it's a 60 to 40%. Not too sure.
But yeah, 60 is documentation, I think.
Yeah, because your documentation, so this is the thing guys forget, and I'll tell you this. Whatever is me, but this is how he does it. He's gonna arrange your presentations depending on your performance, straight up. like he's gonna, depending on how you perform on your different presentations or like previous presentations, he's gonna arrange your presentations like that. So you notice, if you do well, you get when lecturers are fresh and they're not pissed. Yeah, so you can set the standards. Because I know Adrian used to be among the first ones to present as well. So if you do that, you can easily like bluff your way through it. But how marks are assigned, I think it's 60 to 40. So pay more attention to your project documentation this semester, especially your proposal. You see the one that is marked after this, the deliverable of this semester, it's chapter 1, 2, and 3. And they're going to be marked by 2 lecturers. And those marks are like, Orero will behave like, this is marking, but he's going to use those marks for sure. And those marks are going to be used for you. Yeah. Do web apps count as projects? Yeah, they do. Literally, web app is, you can build a web app, integrate it with a model or a backend and AI model. So in most cases, I think the structure guys took was they had a front end, which was an app or a website or a web app, and then they had a backend, which hosted like the model or something. Adrian, can you help? What do you do if you don't have an idea?
Okay. Most of us, by the way, we didn't have. Most of us actually started doing this project in second semester. Like for me, let me just be honest. Me, I did my projects like in the last majority of it, not documentation, the project itself, like in the last 2 months. So October, November. So not having an idea right now shouldn't scare you. Don't worry, you still have time. Just make sure by the end of May, you have like an idea. Just throw ideas to your lecturers. Tell them, is this viable? Because that's what most people are doing. You just go to a lecturer, ask them, I have this idea. Tell me if it's okay to present. Then they most likely tell you yes or no. Or they'll tell you it is, but it's not yet there. So you need to add more stuff to it. Like it's a good idea, but you still don't have enough things to make it like a feasible project. Yeah.
Then don't get too attached to your project. It's not a person. Like you can be told, Orero can tell you this one. There are people who are asked at the final presentation, was this project even accepted? You know, like
I know it's
very serious. So my advice, if you don't have an idea, is take time to look through. So I'd get more guys to see how they came up with the idea. How I came up with my idea was, I think, also searching. Like, I don't know why guys are like, you just want to stay in a search for stuff and like go to masters, read the stuff masters students did, and then see how you can tweak that. Like even algorithms that you solve in your machine learning class, you can pick up an idea and then build it. And then easily how you can twist your idea to make it look new is you can cater for the Kenyan context. So an idea can be implemented in the States, but then the data wasn't from States, and so it doesn't help this other side. Talk about that 30-70 split staff takes if you monetize your project. I think the best person to talk about this, I don't know if I can get him, but I try to get him. There's a guy called Kennedy Momo. He was valedictorian last year, and he did computer science as well. He did a project at one time, and then he monetized it, and then staff were like, the lecturers came and they're like, staff owns this percentage. But yeah, I think this is, it depends. If you want to do your idea, I think staff has written it somewhere in the terms and conditions for a fact. But the best person to advise you would be the law side in Microsoft. In I think there's a law, I think it's called CE. It's in Strat, it's in law school. When you guys go back to school, you can do that. But yeah, if you have a killer project, why would you fix it? Like, I'd steal it and like implement it for myself. Yeah. So don't do that, and then you want to sue people afterwards.
Save your IP.
Yeah,
your money is in your mind. This is your IP. Yeah. Don't give your IP to Strathmore or anyone else.
Yeah, and then I also noticed most of the stuff we did. Honestly, I don't trust my machine learning models. I wouldn't use it in production. I told you it was 90%, but I don't trust it.
Okay, someone is asking, when getting an idea, do we have to put more focus on problems affecting Kenya? Technically, no, but this will be easier to sell or to pitch to the panelists if it's something that affects, because mine, I made it, okay, it is international, you can use it in any university, but in the documentation, in my presentations, I presented it as if it's built for Kenya, yeah, for the Kenyan university students. So just make it seem like it's for Kenya. If it's not Kenyan-based, make it appear Kenyan-based. But yeah, a Kenyan-based one usually sells easy as an idea, but you can do anything. Yeah.
Can you implement a project that you worked on during the internship? Sure. It's literally, yeah, that can be a case study, but it depends. It can be a case study and you're like, because I think most people build systems depending on how they did their internship and what they learned. And they're like, okay, I do this because of this and this.
Yeah.
Something else is, how do you get projects done in masters? Go to the exams bank and go search for projects, and then search for masters, and then start searching for your lecturers' names. That's how I did it. So I went, searched for Sharon, searched for Tiberius, Tabulu, searched for Kevin Omondi. So, yeah, so you can get to like go through some of their projects so that you know whether you can just go through them and like see how it works. So that it's easier. Because actually most of the time when you go to the supervisor, they'll send you their master's documentation and use it as a way of asking you to follow that.
NLP. Yeah, it is. Mine was an LP, technically, yeah. Mine was an NLP project. So yeah, it is possible. It's actually not hard. It's easier than people think. You know, some things, even me before I did it, I had absolutely no experience in NLP or NLTK or text analysis. But once you read, that's why this is the time, like now, April to June, read. You realize that these things are not as hard as they appear. It's actually relatively easy. I realized my project was actually simple. I was actually telling JB like last year, like this project is actually simple. I think it might be too simple. But the idea got, as in I pitched it so well that people were like, wow, this is great. How the panelists that is. So yeah, it is feasible.
Yeah. You just need to just also how you pitch your idea, guys. This would definitely stress on this. How you pitch your idea is how it will matter. Because even when Adrian pitched his idea, it was all about, look, Strathmore is a whole mentor and mentoree thing. And then also that year, I think mentorship week was focusing on mental health as well. So it was a very good way to do it. And then you see the school was seeing it as a system that you can also implement. So yeah. I think that's mostly it. So you can share your questions, all your questions to Innocent, and then you forward it to us. I don't know if you guys would like some of us to listen to your project ideas, me like my classmates. I don't know if that's okay, and then we can give you advice. Which units had projects? I talked about this. Distributed systems have a project. IoT, we never did a project. Machine learning, I'm not so sure. Just had weekly cuts and weekly assignments. Next time is gonna be rough. Agent can share about this. You're gonna do distributed objects and web services.
Oh,
What's gonna happen?
I prayed. I've never prayed so hard in my life in both those distributed units. Wow. Don't sleep on them. Please kindly do not think you're going to read them the last minute.
Very true. Yeah. If you can have a forum where we can pitch our ideas to you guys for those interested, that would be great. Okay. I'll see if I can get more.
That's actually really easy because now we've gone through the whole process. It will be easier for us to tell you like this is what to add, or if it's not feasible, or if it's just great, but you really need to read. Yeah. If you guys are willing, as you're reading.
Yeah. I think I can get a couple of guys who I know had like good they did well in their projects to give you guys advice. So that it's easier. It's just not me and agent you can reach out to. And then also what we say is not our final say. Like I think project opinion is very subjective. Orero can say this is not a very good project, but then your supervisor is like, this is the best thing ever. So it's very subjective. Okay, yeah, that would be it from us. I think you guys will tell me when you want to have the next schedule. Can anyone say, or like a module leader say when you guys would want to have the next schedule? If you think this is something we can continue so that we continue to give guys advice. Yeah. Is it fine if I share a recording of this guy after trashing Strat so bad?
By the I mean, sure. I guess
Sure,
I don't know.
Yeah, but I think tomorrow's to be honest, tomorrow's session you can share it because that one will be very technical. I think that one will delve deeper into what you do in your abstract, what you do in like, and then share examples. So definitely. But I've seen like a couple of guys out there, like 65 people. So yeah, that's a very good number. Thanks guys for turning up because I never thought you guys would like literally come, and for us, no one was there. I don't think anyone was there to help us from the previous.
Just winged it
Yes,
till the final minute.
Yeah, winged it till the final. Yeah. So I think I'll really get gender balance so that it's not biased. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a biased opinion. And also I think us guys might be biased because we did AI projects, but I will get someone who never did anything and they passed well. I'll get someone who never did AI or machine learning. We have to talk about the job market. That's a whole other conversation, but
Just finish fast.
Finish fast. Finish fast, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, guys. Thanks you guys for showing up. Share this link. I don't know when you guys want to have the next session. I don't know if tomorrow is okay. I don't know if tomorrow is too soon. But you can tell me, and then we can handle all your questions, and we can get a very unbiased opinion or from guys who did IoT, so that someone who did IoT is the one actually answering IoT questions.
Yeah. So thanks guys for coming. This is actually really great. So many people, 60 something, 65, 63. Really, that's a really good number. Yeah, that's like a whole class or something.
My Instagram live rarely reaches this number, so I think I'm famous on more. I'm famous on more serious things. This is how I should. This is how I should continue. But yeah, okay, guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Yeah, man, there.
And then before we leave, I think we'll join these guys for the cheap, because we never got to go for a cheap.
By the way, that trip. That's true. These are just spins.
Okay, guys. Bye.
See ya.